There's quite a few games we have to talk about, and the first one, I'm going to start it very easy and very light. Botany Manor. This was the game that last episode I said I was going to talk about, and then I last second moved it out of the way because at that time I had only played about an hour or 2 hours of the game, and now I've finished. I've rolled credits, and man, my full review is up on respawnstation.com. You can check it out there. It's also in the description on YouTube, but my general thoughts, right, is it's a short game. It's about five hours, maybe 6 hours if you get lost or you want to stop and smell the roses. And it's
nice flower pun there.
thank you. And it's a very pleasant experience. The whole game has this really strong art style that just kind of defines the experience throughout. Like the entire thing, you clearly understand what's going to happen around every corner, how everything's going to look. It has this uniformity to it, but at the same time, as you're playing through the game, and by the way, it's called Botany Manor, and you literally are just kind of in that manor and those grounds the entire time you're playing the game. Like that is the only place you go in the game, but it's so well realized that you don't really it doesn't really matter. Like it kind of brings that whole place to life in that way. And a few things that that for me really kind of stuck out from the experience. I think that it's first of all, the musical cues, every time you enter a new area or have like a new chapter starts out, it's like this very pleasant experience, and the whole vibe is pretty chill. Other than the fact that obviously it's a puzzle game, and so you have to put together puzzles. Now, the general concept of the game, for anyone who hasn't heard of Botany Manor, is you are exploring this manor as a retired botanist named Arabella Green. That's what it is. And she's essentially putting together this botanical research book called The Forgotten Flora. And so every chapter of the game is literally a chapter of the book that she is putting together. And it's the thing that I didn't expect to hit home quite as hard as it did is actually about how it kind of showcases the struggles of a 1890s or I guess 1800s woman in science, because you'll kind of explore the castle the manor, and you'll see letters from universities that she's applied to, where they're like, hey, sorry, but botany is a serious field, we can't just let anyone join, but maybe you could read a book and teach your kids about it someday, it's like that. Or family members will leave will write to her and be like, hey, you need to fucking get married and not just look at plants all day. And just the fact that I was reading these things and I was like, oh, these fucking assholes, it triggered, it kind of made me understand her frustrations in a very kind of simple but effective way. And I think the narrative structure of having encountering those letters, and then also while you're in real time, compiling a book for her research, is kind of a satisfying loop. Kind of the whole kind of the structure of the game. And
Would you say,
go
real
ahead.
quick, Sri, would you say that narratively, it tells a gripping sort of story? Because I feel like in specifically puzzle games, it's a bit of a, scattershot approach. Sometimes they really nail narrative parts interweaved with puzzles and such, and sometimes it's really kind of a backseat to the gameplay.
This is totally a backseat to the gameplay. In fact, I
Gotcha.
could totally understand someone who plays this game and then they're like, wow, the story fucking was just not good, and I could totally understand that, because it is very there's really no story. I mean, there's this is not really a spoiler, but the book, finishing the book finishes the game. There's one maybe 5-minute sequence at the end that kind of puts a bow on it, but there's not traditional cutscenes that kind of deliver story, and none of that is there. And to the point where if you are someone who is not reading what you're picking up, because as I picked up everything, I take the time to like go through everything and be like, oh, okay, I get the idea of what this is, or if I need to, like, if there's like a date or something that I like, that seems pretty important, I'll write it in my little notebook here that I have with me. And like that. And also one kind of maybe for some people negative that might be for the game is that you don't pick up any items that you like look at in the game. So if you find something in the orchid, is it orchard or what if you find something in the garden, let's say, and you have to refer to it again like 20 minutes later, you have to go back to the garden and pick up that item and look at it and then put it down. So I definitely recommend having just like a piece of paper where you're kind of doodling stuff down just to have and keep track of. And there's certainly, I'm not gonna show you guys my notebooks because well, they're pretty messy, but like I have like Morse code, like, oh, I think this is the Morse code thing, or like the doors have to be open like this. So that's quite fun. But to reiterate and answer your question, no, there's really not a story here. And if you're someone who doesn't read everything that is thrown at you, you will probably not even kind of process even the things I was talking about, like how the struggles she went through to become a bot, to get to where she is now. You probably wouldn't even kind of experience that for yourself. But with that said, the overall, I think that the game is just really pleasant, short, well put together. It has, by the way, I know a lot of people like to throw around the term walking simulator, and this game has really like satisfying kind of running mechanics. Like the acceleration of when you run is like really smooth, and when you stop, it kind of decelerates very satisfyingly as well. I know that sounds weird to say, like to say that running is satisfying, but like first of all, it totally improves the pacing of the game because you're not as frustrated that like you have to go pick up everything all over the place. But also it just kind of like for me, as someone who kind of plays very cinematically, I guess I like to move very kind of slowly and methodically, but like it's like pretty much I play games as if I'm like playing on the E3 stage, demoing the game for the first time, and it's kind of nice and satisfying to kind of move through the greenery or look through the manor and have these just really nice looking areas that you can kind of explore. And there's certainly a lot of screenshot worthy moments. The only technically the only kind of issues that I came across was like there's these hanging vines that you'll see on the manor or around the manor occasionally, and they have like this weird, they pop in a lot, like where if you're at a certain distance, like you can literally step up and you'll see kind of flicker into existence, and if you step back it's gone, that kind of thing. But other than that, man, I played this game on Xbox and it runs really smooth. Didn't really have any problems with it, no crashes or anything. And honestly, if you have the Xbox Game Pass, it is also on there, so just give it a go if you're looking for a nice chill, like Saturday, Sunday game to unwind with.